looking live at a sold-out Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. Tonight, Virginia Tech and Clemson will compete for the ACC Championship. We welcome you to the 2011 Dr. Pepper ACC Championship on ESPN. And the winner tonight will advance to the 2012 Discover Orange Bowl. This a rematch on October 1st. Clemson stormed into Blacksburg and they dominated the Hokies, forcing fumbles. Their big tight end, Dwayne Allen, had a huge night. 32-yard scoring pass, and then later it was a stifling defense. And for the first time in a long time, the Hokies were held without a touchdown as Michael Bellamy put a little icing on the cake, and you can see the total domination. But things have turned completely around, ladies and gentlemen, and Virginia Tech is red hot. Good evening, everybody. With my colleague, Kirk Herbstreit, I'm Brett Musburger. Thanks so much for being with us here tonight. One news update. Michael Bellamy, that youngster you saw going into the end zone, suspended by Dabo Swinney, the head coach. He has been sent home. Coach said he was not focused. But I will tell you who is focused for Virginia Tech. Their quarterback, Logan Thomas, has come on like gangbusters.
He sure has. I think really the difference in this matchup is Logan Thomas and the confidence that he's playing with right now compared to when they played the first matchup. You know, he only threw for about 127 yards, and I think it's his decision making. You can see he's more assertive when he's running the football. He's throwing the football now with more accuracy. He's accounted for 23 touchdowns, only 2 turnovers since that matchup with Clemson, and this is a big thing tonight to watch. When the receivers aren't open, his ability to create, and especially against a Clemson defense that has been able to at times be taken advantage of. You remember last week, Connor Shaw found a lot of real estate when he tucked the ball and took off and ran. So I think that's something that Logan Thomas at 6'6", 255, if things aren't there, he's going to try to do the same thing.
Tajh Boyd on the other side.
Well, Tajh Boyd got off to such a great start. The first 8 games, he was as hot as any quarterback in the country. This is earlier this year against Virginia Tech. The play that you talked about, falling off of his back foot, but putting the ball in a position where Dwayne Allen can make a play. Since then, the last 4 games, it's not been the same. Here, you'd think he bounces to the outside where there's room to run. Instead, he runs into his own man, doesn't run with authority and get it into the end zone. This is really this offense in the last couple weeks in a nutshell. Starting to feel pressure up front, forces a ball into coverage, makes a bad decision. That's what Clemson cannot avoid tonight. They cannot turn the football over.
So Swinney, and on the other side, Virginia Tech. Both schools travel so well. Sellout crowd on hand. Charlotte will be rocking tonight. The Hokies hoping to avenge their only loss of the season. The scene is set in Charlotte. Heather Cox, the 3rd member of our team, is down below with Virginia Tech coach Frank Beamer. Let's go there.
Brent, thanks so much. Coach, your only loss of the season to this Clemson team. What did you learn in that loss that can help you get the W tonight?
Well, we learned that they're a talented football team, well-coached football team. And learn you can't turn the football over and you got to kick the ball well because it's a game of field position. We got 2 good football teams. Field position is awfully important, and we didn't punt the ball very well in our first ball game.
Since then, you're 7-0. How important has Logan Thomas's development been to your success?
Well, he's been real important. He's improved each and every week, gotten better, been accurate, has taken care of the football, and he's been a vital part of our operation.
Continued success. Thanks, Coach.
On the other sideline, 42-year-old Dabo Swinney, a native of Birmingham, Alabama. 3rd season as head man of Clemson. Now, Frank Beamer won the coin toss, and the Hokies have deferred here, and it is a gorgeous night. Make it a little bit chilly, but no moisture in the forecast. And the Tigers will get the ball first here. And that means that Sammy Watkins, who they say is close to 100%, will be back deep with Jerron Brown. They like to get the ball early and often. And the the journey begins. Watkins stepped out. He's got to come all the way now. 15 out to the 22, and we will see Tajh Boyd. And Herbie told you in the first 8 games he was magnificent. 24 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Then Herbie, last 4 games, 4 TDs and 7 picks.
Yeah, I think this entire offense has been struggling in recent weeks, and I think it's affected Tajh Boyd's confidence. I think tonight they're going to try to get him ability to reestablish his confidence, some quick throws, try to get this offense back in sync when it was executing in a way that very few offenses in the country were earlier in the year.
Tajh is a redshirt sophomore quarterback out of Hampton, Virginia. And they'll give it to Ellington. Andre Ellington. He tries to get that left edge. And very close to a first down. Hosley is there defensively. And Herbie, let's take a look at tonight's impact players. Brought to you by Dr. Pepper.
Well, when these guys are clicking, they're as good as anybody. It starts with Tajh Boyd and his decision-making tonight. Andre Ellington, you could see how quickly he can accelerate upfield. Dwayne Allen, maybe one of the more electrifying tight ends in the country. Keep an eye on big number 83. And Sammy Watkins. The two are kind of tied together. When the tight end plays well, it opens it up for Watkins.
So they hand it back off to Ellington. And he pounds for the first down before linebacker Jack Tyler brings him down. Here are your offensive linemen, and that fella in the middle, Dalton Freeman, made the All-ACC first team as the center.
Keep an eye on the left tackle, Philip Price, who's coming back from a sprained knee. They tried to play him early last week. He wasn't very effective. They took him out. They're hoping he's able to go tonight.
Power game working right away. Now Boyd's first pass, and they'll work it short underneath, and that's Brandon Ford. So Brandon Ford, one of the tight ends, a junior from Wando, South Carolina.
And right away you're seeing tempo, something that's very important for Clemson. You see Tajh Boyd checking himself out of the game as part of the Wildcat package here, and Clemson getting their plays together. But Chad Morris, the offensive coordinator, loves the tempo to try to get the defense on their heels.
Ellington will take the snap on the Clemson Wildcat, and he'll keep it himself, and he is stuffed. The Hokies were not fooled on that, and that is Hosley, who is an outstanding defensive back coming up to make the stop. Number 20. Herbie, if you go back in the stats with him, he once picked Russell Wilson, who was then playing quarterback for North Carolina State, 3 times in a single game.
You know, he had 9 interceptions last year. He's a first-team All-American. This year he's come up with 3. One of the top cover corners in the ACC, maybe even in the entire country.
Now Tajh Boyd is left with a 3rd and 4 after that Wildcat play. Didn't gain much. That's Allen, the tight end, going through the formation. Tajh looks for that screen over there, going to take off himself, and did not get it. Exum, the safety, comes up, and they are a yard short.
But Tajh Boyd, one thing that he's really trying to improve on is once his primary receiver is not there, he quickly comes off of it and tries to create. That time, as you said, Brent, he was trying to set up the quick throw, the screen off to the left, but the Hokies defense completely dialed in, reading their tendencies here early, and they were there to take it away and forcing Tajh Boyd to have to try to run for it.
There's Dawson Zimmerman, and guess who awaits it? Hosley. J-Ron Hosley, the junior from Delray Beach, Florida. Going to let this one roll, and it takes a Hokie bounce before it is downed at the 23-yard line. And so Logan Thomas, and when we say big, we mean it, folks. The first 5 games, that included the loss to Clemson.
It's amazing to see the transformation. At 6'6", 254 pounds, I think the difference is he's just now more comfortable with the more reps he's received, the more confident he has become in directing this Hokies offense.
He will start on the Hokies' 25-yard line and keeps it himself. And Andre Branch, who had a monster, is there. Ball comes loose. Clemson claiming they've got it on the first offensive play of the game. And big Andre Branch gets off the bottom with the football. Let's take another look at this one now.
The exchange on a zone read, there was a miscommunication. That ball looks like that's definitely out before he went down.
That is a fumble.
Without a doubt.
Anthony, the freshman linebacker, punched it out. And what a future he has. Got it with his shoulder and knocked it free.
Without a doubt.
Magallanes.
Review the ruling on the field. The runner fumbled the ball prior to being down. It was replaced at the 24-yard line. It will be 1st and 10, Clemson.
So the Tigers have it as the call on the field is reversed. And here, Herbie, is what you said, an early opportunity.
Now we find out if Tajh Boyd's able to take advantage of this first turnover that the Clemson defense has created in over 3 games. Not only have they been turning it over offensively, they've not been able to create turnovers. And here in the ACC Championship, the very first play, they're able to create a turnover and give Tajh Boyd great field position.
DeAndre Hopkins is one of the receivers out to the right. And Sammy Watkins is up toward the top of your screen. This is Ellington. Couldn't find any daylight and is dropped at the 25-yard line.
And we talked about their first 8 games. And you're thinking about 40 points a game, new offensive coordinator in Chad Morris, the turnover margin, everything was going their way. And then the last 4 games, it's almost like they've become shell-shocked.
Tajh Boyd threw behind Watkins, but he was under enormous pressure that time. Kyle Fuller, who has been moved up to that hybrid position, he got in on the quarterback.
And I think Kyle Fuller is arguably one of the top players in the ACC. He has had to move around this year because of a variety of injuries to Bud Foster's defense. I would say he's the most valuable player on this Hokies defense. They blitz him, they play him in coverage, he does everything.
3rd down and 10 from the 25. Tajh Boyd stands tall, wide open. Touchdown, Dwayne Allen. One of the best tight ends in the country muscled his way in.
A broken coverage, and we just talked about Kyle Fuller and how versatile he can be. Man-to-man coverage, and it looked like Fuller may have gotten lost there in coverage, left the big tight end all alone, and it's an easy touchdown, an easy throw for Tajh Boyd, so they take advantage of the opportunity.
Chandler Catanzaro adds the extra point, and a turnover leads to 7 points for the Tigers. Charlotte, North Carolina, the home of NASCAR, and a lap around the Charlotte Motor Speedway with Jason Haynes and the Richard Petty driving experience. Only 170 miles an hour. So Benton will kick it off. And it'll be fielded at the 50 by Gregory, and Gregory to the 35-yard line. Looking for a clean play. The Hokies with 1 snap turned it over. And a misfire on the pass to Wilson. And we take a look at tonight's impact players, brought to you by Dr. Pepper from Virginia Tech.
And Logan Thomas, he's going to have to try to show he can come through some adversity tonight after the way this game has started. David Wilson, one of the more electrifying runners, has amazing acceleration. And then on the outside, Jared Boykin and Danny Cole. These guys are #1 and #2, respectively, in career receptions. And they're going to have to make some plays against press coverage from the Tigers defense.
Second and 10 for the Hokies. That's the fullback, Joy Phillips, as an H-back. Good protection that time. First completion to the 40-yard line, and what a hit. That was Hall, number 31, who unloaded on Danny Cole.
And Hall had a huge game last week against South Carolina. Has outstanding ball skills, and right now they're just reading their keys. They're in position as a defense, and it's amazing how 1 turnover can change a month of frustration for Clemson. Right now they have their swagger, and they're playing with a lot of confidence, and this defense is flying around.
3rd and 3 from their 40. Thomas fires for the first down. into Clemson territory. And that's Boykin, number 81, who grew up right here in Charlotte.
Nice to see Logan Thomas sit in here. A little stunt up front. It's picked up. No concern at all with the protection. 3rd and short. And this is where Logan Thomas, again, I think this is the area that he's grown the most. He understands the down and the distance and what he needs for that first down. Makes an accurate throw for the first.
Josh Oglesby joins David Wilson in that backfield alongside Thomas. They've got 3 wide. Oglesby behind Wilson that time and still going. His first carry of the game, and it's a beauty. And here, of course, Clemson leads Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech, though, into Clemson territory for the first time. And there goes the deep ball. Caught. Touchdown, DJ Coles. 45 yards through the air.
We just talked about they got to be able to get the ball thrown downfield against this press coverage. Play action, got the defensive backs with their eyes in the backfield, and a great job by Coles getting behind the coverage, and a good throw by Logan Thomas.
Janelle tacks on the extra point. So 44 seconds left at the first quarter. The Dr. Pepper ACC Championship deadlock. Such a great scene here in Charlotte for the Dr. Pepper ACC Championship. Perhaps a record crowd. 2 schools that travel very well. Both of them can get here. Deadlock. Watkins is driven deep into the end zone. He'll take a knee and come out to the 20. If you weren't with us earlier, Thomas fumbled the first snap of the game, and it led to the Clemson touchdown. And Tajh keeps it, slips it outside to Martavis Bryant, his first catch of the game. And Bryant is out to the 22-yard line, a gain of a couple. Well, let's make it 3, closer to the 23, actually.
It's a common play you see in college football, and the next level of an option play where he fakes it, and then he has the option to either run it or throw it out to the receiver. It's not a pitch option, but it's either a pass or run option for the quarterback.
And here's Tajh, and he is upended by Exum. Antoine Exum, a hard-hitting safety, comes up, and we have come to the end of the first quarter. Clemson strikes first early, but Virginia Tech answered. And in the Dr. Pepper ACC Championship, we are deadlocked at 7.
Welcome back to the ACC Championship in Charlotte, where Virginia Tech's DB Jaron Hosley is out right now. Was diagnosed with a stinger, has pain and numbness down into his left hand. His return is in question right now, depending on whether the numbness goes away. Now, guys, not a good sign considering Virginia Tech defense is already down 3 starters from the last time they faced Clemson, prompting Frank Beamer to tell us yesterday our defense is not as good as it was earlier in the season because they're down so many starters, Brent.
So young Bonner is on the field as Tajh Boyd looks right at him and throws in underneath Detrick Bonner, who has replaced Hosley. So they immediately go to Brown for the completion, aiming right at the youngster for 17 yards.
Well, they just simply read the corner and made an evaluation on what to do with the football. Nice, accurate throw. Great decision by Tajh Boyd.
And they come back with Watkins trying to get that edge with his great speed. Ellington for the first down. Whitley makes the shot.
Clemson still trying to fight to get to the outside. It's such a big part of this offense. Play before, they got Sammy Watkins on that jet sweep coming from the right to the left back into the boundary. He got the corner, picked up big yards, and this time again they worked that left side of the Clemson offense.
Quick pitch to Watkins, trying to use his speed against Chris Hill. And he goes for a burst to the 31-yard line before he's forced out of bounds, and that's a first down.
You know, Chris Hill felt challenged the last time these two teams met. He really felt, I remember hearing him after the game say, you know, I took it personal. They wanted to come after me. They wanted to challenge me, and I stepped up, and I thought I played very well. Again, they're trying to come after him again with especially Hosley down and Bonner and Hill holding up the corner spots.
Now they look back to the Bonner side on the juggle. Watkins again forced out of bounds. And he's at the 26-yard line, and that's where Clemson will have second down.
But this time, Tajh Boyd is able to check it down. Instead of locking in and trying to throw it and force it downfield, he makes a good decision, and now here's 2nd and 5.
Wide open on the other side's Hopkins. Hopkins goes to the 6-yard line. And Fuller finally brings him down, but it is 1st and goal as we take a look back at how they're doing in the red zone.
And look at the soft coverage from these corners. Remember, Hosley is out. Hill is on one side, Bonner on the other, and they're really challenging the Virginia Tech corners.
A 20-yard gain. Then Ellington battles his way to the 3. And the red zone is brought to you by Verizon. And you can see how they have fared as Morris makes his substitution package as they approach the goal line, sends his jumbo unit on the field.
He's got to be very proud of this drive. We'll see if they can punch it in and get a touchdown. 8 plays, 70 yards, a little over 2 minutes. And they're definitely in a little bit more of a hurry-up mode.
From under center, Tajh Boyd scrambling and gives ground. It'll be 3rd and goal. J.R. Collins there defensively.
Great coverage by Virginia Tech. They took away the 2 receivers that were going off into the corner of the end zone. And Tajh Boyd just trying to create to make something happen, but the Hokies stay at home, and the speed again very evident from Virginia Tech.
3rd down. Tajh Boyd keeps it, tripped up, and a decision to be made by Swinney and Clemson. Tyler tripped the quarterback up, number 58. And Swinney does not hesitate. Sends the field goal unit onto the team.
Quick read here by Tajh Boyd. He's checking out the defensive end. He wants to be able to make it sure that the end commits down to Ellington. He does. That's the right read. But Virginia Tech is sitting right where they need to be to keep Boyd out of the end zone.
A 20-yard attempt here for Catanzaro to put the Tigers back in the lead. On the money. So for the 2nd time tonight, Clemson has the lead. And Benton. Gregory will field this one at the 10-yard line for the Hokies. A little bit of a crease. And he is out to the 39-yard line. 1st down and 5, and Thomas runs the option play, and here's the pitch, and cut down is Wilson. Meeks had the pitch man, and he did a great job. They are just not letting Wilson get any daylight here. 4 carries for 7 yards.
They are taking him away. Another great open field tackle by a defensive back. Goodman took away the quarterback and made the quarterback Thomas pitch the ball. And as you said, boy, Meeks was closing in on a hurry onto David Wilson, and he didn't have a chance.
There's been some excellent tackling by both these teams here tonight.
No doubt.
Yeah, some of the best open field tackling I've seen this season, actually. 2nd down now and 2. There's a misdirection with Wilson. Let's see what happens. And this time he gets a little daylight for a 1st down to the 45. 1st down and 10 now. Thomas can't get an open man. Going to be sacked. Takes a sack. Had to throw that away
timeout
at the 37 with the clock ticking down. Rennie Moore credited with the sack, but you can't take a sack in that situation.
Now, the one thing you cannot do, and this is where Logan Thomas is still growing, great coverage downfield, outstanding, but at some point you've either got to find your check down and throw it to David Wilson, or you've just got to get outside and throw it away. But you can't take the sack. Not only do you lose the yardage, the clock keeps moving. You're forced to use a timeout. They're fortunate that they had 3 timeouts, and now they're down to 2.
Second down. Didn't think he wanted to play quarterback, but here he is. And in trouble again, and this time he does throw it away.
I'm on Andre Branch.
So that's a big personal foul penalty and a first down.
But Branch is so excited to be able to get pressure. Remember, he grew up in Virginia.
Personal
4
foul.
sacks last time that they played.
Number 40 defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Taking him out of the game. He had 4 sacks last time they played. He came close to getting after Logan Thomas. See, again, Thomas is hanging on a little bit too long. Good call there. Branch just takes it too far. But Logan Thomas, part of his experience as a basketball player, I think stunted maybe his growth as a quarterback. So he's still kind of learning as we watch him as just a sophomore at 6'6", 255 pounds.
So with the penalty, the ball is moved to the Tigers' 48-yard line.
Big mental error there.
Now 1 minute, 2 timeouts. Trailing by 3, and on the slant, DJ Coles to the 30-yard line. And they are moving closer to field goal territory here. Journell on the season 13 of 16. He's hit a 41-yarder this season against Marshall.
Soft coverage there, and good job of recognizing that. Easy throw for Thomas.
50 seconds, got timeouts to stop the clock. Thomas can come and use the middle of the field, and he does just that. Drager, the tight end, and forget the field goal. They got enough time to take a crack at the end zone here.
And the clock stops, obviously, with a first down. Now he's in a little bit more of a groove here these last 2 plays.
Here comes pressure. And they forced the bad throw to Drager. Hall, a safety blitz was coming hard.
I love the call by Kevin Steele. They just gave up back-to-back plays where Thomas had time to throw. They're hurrying up, and they bring the pressure with Hall right up the middle. That's been a problem for Andrew Miller as a first-year starting center. Teams that pressured them to the interior of the offensive line. There's been some confusion at times. That time Hall got in there, but a good call, an aggressive call by Kevin Steele.
35 seconds. They can still use the middle of the field because they've got the 2 timeouts. Second down and 10. And tripped up is Wilson. As he comes across the 15, Jenkins was there, and so they will burn the timeout right now. So it is 3rd down. The ball is back at the 25. So this would put it 42 yards. They need to pick up a few yards here and use that timeout. The big clock is running. They've got to hurry.
Boy, Frank Beamer is irate.
Because when the big clock takes off, and he wants an explanation for the referee.
30-second timeout.
So this is their last timeout with 6 seconds. And so when they spotted the ball.
Well, again, you got to know, he's trying to call a timeout late, but an offensive penalty, the game clock will roll. And so you've got to be aware of that from the sidelines. You got to be aware of that, obviously, as a quarterback. It's not just the play clock, it's the game clock that's moving. They wasted about 8 to 10 seconds there.
Now this would be a long for Cody Journell, around 42 yards. And he trots onto the field. Trey Gresh, redshirt freshman from Blacksburg. He will be the holder, number 16. We told you about the snapper. So Carroll. This is on the right hash. And a 42-yarder. This would be his career long if he makes it. Beautiful. Didn't he curl that one in for a career long? Bailed him out.
Sure
Coach
did.
and quarterback, I might add.
Everybody.
We will go to the intermission. Deadlocked at 10 here in the Dr. Pepper ACC Championship sellout crowd in Charlotte, North Carolina. Let's go down to Heather Cox.
Coach, after a quiet first half, your offense sparked on that last possession. How do you carry that into the second half?
Well, we just got to do what we do. We just got to execute and get into playing the way we play. And I don't think we played a great first half. I think you give Clemson credit. I think they've done well, but we got to get to doing what we do.
After you played Clemson the first time, Logan Thomas admitted to feeling panicked by Clemson's pass rush. What is it about their defense that's so frustrating?
Well, I mean, they got good players, but I don't really think it's as much them as it is us right now.
Coach, thanks for your time.
Heather, thank you very much. So, Reese Davis, as we go to you, Lou Holtz picked Georgia in a big upset, you know, for about 5 minutes today. I thought, man, he was on to something. Let's go to Reese with the Wendy's halftime report. When you think a good tackle in the ACC, I always think of Lawrence Taylor. Sort of changed the position, but he was playing in Carolina.
A lot of great Florida State teams, too. The thing I want to see in his second half, if you're a Clemson fan, you're happy that they haven't turned the football over. Considering the way the last 4 games have gone, that's huge. But I think which quarterback avoids mistakes in the second half will be the team that's going to be able to get out of here with a win. Both defenses are attacking right now. The offensive line and the quarterbacks, we only have 10 points on the board for each team. It's going to get interesting here in the second half.
And right after this kickoff, a little piece of news to update you on something here, Herbie, as the kickoff is going to be fielded on the 7-yard line, and Gregory comes out to the 34. The electricity has been off in Clemson, South Carolina since the start of this football game and is apt to remain off for the entire game. There's a fire in a substation down there. So what I would expect to have happen is that somewhere there will be a replay, maybe on ESPNU, after power is restored tomorrow or somewhere down the week, so that those great fans down there can watch this football team. Right now they are tied at 10. They are on defense, and Logan Thomas and the Hokies with the first possession. Thomas deflected, incomplete. And do you know how hard it is to deflect a pass thrown by a 6'6" quarterback? Yet there they were, Goodman getting in on it.
Goodman's about 6'4" himself. They bring pressure again. Jonathan Meeks, they've got 5 defensive backs in there. They brought 5, and they're pushing back that Virginia Tech offensive line. So Clemson, Kevin Steele, the Tigers are hoping that that trend continues where they win the battle at the line of scrimmage.
Second down and 10 from the 34-yard line for the Hokies. And they are trying to get David Wilson going here in the second half. Wilson, 6 carries for 21, and now he has 7 for 24 yards on the night. So that Tiger defense, they have done a great job on the Hokie running back.
You know, he has 34 carries this year of 15 yards or longer. That's most in the country. And tonight, 7 carries for 25 yards, and it's all about the way they are attacking upfield and penetrating against the Virginia Tech line.
Third down and 6, and Logan has to throw this away. Anthony, the very talented freshman linebacker, was all over the Hokie quarterback.
Again, 3 plays, 3 blitzes by Kevin Steele. He is fired up, and he should be. Now we've got Virginia Tech with a dispute, possibly with an official. We get a late flag.
We have indeed, Herbie. You saw it come down at the 28-yard line, thrown back there by the Hokie players.
Intentional grounding, number 3. That's a loss of down at the spot of the foul. 4th down.
So he was not outside the tackle box when he flipped it to the sideline.
The blitz is going to come right through the middle. Nice job there by Anthony with the acceleration. The slight delay caused some confusion up front for the Virginia Tech offensive line.
Cole will punt, and the Tigers figure to have good field position here. But Cole drives one over Hopkins' head.
This guy is amazing.
This is a youngster who didn't punt much until last week. And let's check in down below now with Heather Cox. Heather?
You guys were talking about the turnover story. Clemson was -10 in turnovers the last 4 games. Dabo Swinney said the fumble recovery that led to the touchdown really set the tone for the first half, and he's proud of his defense. Offense, on the other hand, he said we still haven't gotten in sync. Tajh Boyd is missing targets that he normally hits. He's got to be more efficient in the second half. He also praised his team, but said they need to be smarter in the second half. Too many penalties in the first half.
So Herbie, Cole has followed up an earlier 60-yarder with a 61-yard punt. You talk about affecting field position, and Ellington dances to daylight. A terrific run to the 26 by the junior Clemson tailback.
Nice pull here by the guard, McLean. He picks up a nice block there on the closing in, J.R. Collins. And I'll tell you again, Ellington healthy is a different back. Great vision. He's got that jump cut where he's able to get around the defender and get more yardage.
Ellington 76 yards on the night. And now a strike to Hopkins for another first down. And the Tigers are mounting a drive out of bounds at the 43-yard line.
Look at again the soft coverage. Corners, you've got Bonner in there for Jaron Hosley, and he's giving about a 12-yard cushion there. Nice recognition there to see that and to be able to make a quick throw out there for an easy first down. That's pitch and catch.
And so the Wildcat with Ellington and nothing doing.
That's a couple times we've seen this, and they haven't been able to get that play going. Got a lineman down, but see Watkins trying to grab some of the Hokies' attention, but that time the corner, Dietrich Bonner, who's been picked on a bit out on the perimeter, was able to come in and make a nice play.
Fuller now goes out on the slot receiver. Tajh Boyd comes back short side, got a first down, put it in the hands of the electric one. This time it is Hopkins.
And they continue to go after Dietrich Bonner, who is a freshman. Now he's going to be a big-time player, don't get me wrong, but he's playing in the ACC Championship game, and Tajh Boyd is trying to take advantage of that by going after him. DeAndre Hopkins has great quickness to be able to show him a vertical stretch threat and then come back underneath.
Now Watkins in motion, coming around on that jet sweep. Fumble! The Hokies go for it, but a Clemson player was also right there, and it is Dwayne Allen, the tight end, to the rescue. So here's a young man who is up for the Mackey Award, is one of the best in the country, doing those little things.
And how about Bonner, who's been picked on this time? He makes a pretty good play, gets physical, and boy, it looked like Exum had a chance to recover that, but the big tight end is able to get it back for Clemson.
And a 1st and 10 at the 15. Tajh Boyd again. Cuts at the 10. And he is at the 9-yard line before Edwards, the linebacker, brings him down.
Option again here, not just to pitch it, but this time to throw it or to run it. This is a different Tajh Boyd. This is the Tajh Boyd that we saw early in the year playing aggressively. Boy, Brent, the last 3 or 4 weeks, it's almost like he's been back there thinking too much, worrying about making mistakes. Tonight, he seems to be just turning it loose and playing football.
They can get a first down without scoring the touchdown at the 5-yard line. This is 2nd and 3. This time Boyd is back to throw for it, wide open. Touchdown to Allen. The big tight end again.
You know who they went after again for the touchdown? Dietrich Bonner in coverage, a freshman at 6 feet, trying to match up with Dwayne Allen, one of the top receiving tight ends in the entire country, 6'4". And not only that, Bonner fell down, making it very easy for Tajh Boyd.
Catanzaro makes it. So here is Dwayne Allen, the junior from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Clemson 17, Virginia Tech 10, and because of that personal foul, the Tigers will kick it off for the 45. Spencer Benton figures to nail this one into the end zone. And so they don't even give David Wilson a chance on this play. Now, junior tailback David Wilson tied the school in ACC records with 10 100-yard rushing games in 2011. He has been held to 25 yards here tonight by this Tiger defense. Play action to him. And they couldn't throw it to him, but the big quarterback breaks free, breaks a tackle, and he is down at the 21-yard line. Branch hauls Logan Thomas down.
Well, it looked towards the end of that play like we might have a horse collar, but let's look. Logan Thomas, here's his strength, Brent. Almost a Ben Roethlisberger type of scramble, the way he is able to elude the pressure. And that is
a horse collar.
Exactly.
How could he miss that?
Yeah, right there in front of the official. Branch, who tries to catch up with him. It's a no call. Another break for Clemson. But up front, it's a mismatch for Clemson.
On second down, still trying to get Wilson going. And the Tigers are there to meet him. It is now quite clear, Herbie, that Kevin Steele has said, we are going to take David Wilson away from them. Well, you can always take one thing away from a defense.
I think Kevin Steele came in from the first series and said, we're going to take David Wilson away. They have been attacking with their ears pinned back from the opening series. And I said at the beginning of the telecast, I'll say it again, when teams do that, you've got to make them pay for that aggressive attitude, whether it's misdirection or the vertical passing game. Something has to happen to slow down this pass rush.
Play clock down at 3. Option look. And the quarterback breaks another tackle, but he couldn't even get back to the original line of scrimmage. And the Hokies are forced to punt.
Biggest concern that Virginia Tech had coming into this game is how they would match up physically against Goodman, Thompson, Moore, and Branch. And we can see why that's been a concern.
Cole is standing inside the Clemson 5-yard line. Hopkins standing at the Clemson 40. On the one hop, a dangerous bid for a few more yards, but Hopkins made the most of it, close to midfield, and so it'll be half a field that the Tigers will be working with when you come back. Welcome back to Bank of America Stadium here in Charlotte. While you were gone, Frank Beamer said that they got away with a horse collar on my quarterback. And now Tajh Boyd going downfield. He's got the fellow open. The freshman Watkins takes it in. Speed kills. And Sammy Watkins from Fort Myers, Florida for 53 yards.
They waited and waited and waited, and they eventually went back to old reliable. A little double move, a pump and go. They continue to pick on these corners. This time, Chris Hill out there by himself, isolated against a true freshman. Perfect patience, and Tajh Boyd again looks like the Tajh Boyd of earlier in the year. He is feeling it, especially here in the second half.
Well, it's been 30 years since Clemson played in the Discover Orange Bowl, and they are closing in on that bid. So the first 2 drives of this half have been 3 and out, and this is Gregory returning the kickoff for the Hokies, and he is out to about the 27 with a penalty flag flying. So again, the defensive front, they are just having a field day. Brandon Thompson of Thomasville, Georgia, slanted on the center, and he just ate him up.
Well, they are just pushing Virginia Tech back into the defensive line. Derek Hopkins is a strong man, and that time Virginia Tech, I mean, how would you like to be David Wilson? David Wilson, I mean, we could talk all we want about how he has not been able to run the ball tonight. But this Clemson defense is the reason up front on that defensive line.
4-man rushes in, and they deflect the ball again. Coming in hard was Brown, a backup defensive end from Charlotte, North Carolina. So in front of his family, he gets it done, deflects another pass.
Look at the pressure up front from the front 4. And you said it, You got a quarterback at 6'6", but this defensive line's getting in there so quickly. And Logan Thomas, I mean, they're even trying to get the ball out of his hands quicker, and it still doesn't make much of a difference.
It's been nothing but 3 and out this half for the Hokies. Logan Thomas looking for a solution against this fierce 4-man rush. Gets this off middle. Great pitch down the middle. And the catch by DJ Cole. No, wave it off. I thought for a moment he'd made the grab.
He got the ball actually in there, Brent. It's a heck of a throw, but he was unable to hold on to it. He finds the seam. This is a tough ball. It actually comes out of the receiver's hands because of the way the defender this time is able to just knock it away. Martin Jenkins with a nice play.
4th down and 13, so it's another 3 and out here, and Hopkins standing just the other side of midfield. A short punt, which means a short field for the Tigers. And the Tigers are turning the screw right now. Tajh Boyd takes a deep drop, got a man open on the side, complete, and Allen coming over on the top, Herbie, they were able to finally pick him up, and that was a linebacker, Edwards, who had to go with him.
Edwards had to get back there in coverage, try to stay with the big tight end. You can see this 3rd quarter completely dominated by Clemson. They've been able to make the big plays. Chad Morris, the offensive coordinator, deserves a lot of credit for the adjustments that they have made here in this 2nd half, because it's allowed, I think, Tajh Boyd to play with much more confidence.
Ellington to the middle. And a 1st down at the 29-yard line of the Hokies. And the Hokies are really back on their heels.
Well, you attack so much from the outside, and then this quick hitter. Look at the linebackers and the safeties. They're looking out to the outside because most of the plays that Clemson's having success with are to the perimeter. That time, before they could adjust back to the middle, Ellington was downfield.
Ellington trying to get the left edge. End zone ahead, barges for it. Touchdown. A 29-yard run by Andre Ellington.
We came in expecting David Wilson to show us acceleration. How about a healthy Andre Ellington? Amazing block downfield by the receivers, giving him enough space. He got to the corner. They are mixing up the play calling. And again, this is the Clemson offense that we saw early in the year. They keep you so off balance and on your heels.
Ellington has now rushed for better than 100 yards. And the Tigers take command here in the 3rd quarter.
You know, the play before, Ellington ripped it up the middle. Now he's going to follow a couple of the big boys around the corner, and he's able to get downfield. But what you love to see is not just Cloy pulling around and McClain, it's the receivers willing to get down there and get involved and being able to free the way and make some big blocks. But that speed and that quickness is amazing. This is his first 100-yard game since his injury.
Now Philip Price, Heather tells us, out for the day. So they move Mason Cloy, a backup guard, out there to tackle, and he helped throw a great block on that play.
There's so many different pieces to the puzzle, and we're starting to see that here in the 2nd half.
From the 10-yard line is Gregory. And Gregory out to the 32. And he's got a 1st down. Into Clemson territory, DJ Coles.
One of the few times that we've seen Logan Thomas on 3rd down have a chance to catch his breath and make a read. And even then, this time he got rid of the football. He got it out of his hands. How many times have we seen the coverage so good that he's sitting back there holding the ball and holding the ball? This time, does a good job of finding the receiver and getting the ball out of his hands quicker.
So again, it's a 4-man rush. Wilson, and terrific coverage in that secondary. That was Sensabaugh. And last week against South Carolina, he was the best Tiger corner.
Well, that time he was late with the football, and you can see on the year and what they've done tonight, just a dominating performance up to this point. And when you hold Virginia Tech to 40 yards rushing, you're going to have a really good night defending them.
Second down and 10 for the Hokies.
Press coverage again.
Thomas tripped up, giving ground at the 46-yard line. This will be 3rd and long coming up.
It's a combination of not just the defensive line playing well, but they're basically telling Logan Thomas, we're going to lock you down in man-to-man coverage on the outside, and before your receivers can break free, our front four are going to get to Logan Thomas and make you pay for holding on to that football. So they're making Thomas look into that man-to-man coverage. Nobody's getting separation, and then by the time he thinks he can find somebody, the pressure's in his face.
And here comes the blitz. Now they back out. Branch has flopped over to the right side. Now they're still coming. Got one-on-one, and there's a penalty flag. That's interference all the way on Sensabaugh. Sensabaugh against Boykin, and another penalty flag comes.
And this time, the first is going to be defensive interference, and then Boykin, out of frustration, spiked the ball, which will be a dead ball penalty against Boykin.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Pass interference, number 32 defense. That penalty's declined. After the play, dead ball, unsportsmanlike, number 81 of the offense. That's a 15-yard penalty from the end of the play. It will be 1st and 10, Virginia Tech.
Now he's interfered with. The reason it's declined, obviously, he makes the catch, but you cannot lose your cool. You're down 31-10. Very physical on the route the entire way, pushing and shoving. He makes a heck of a catch again on the boundary, but then once he makes the catch and looking over the officials, slams the ball down.
How can they miss the number that badly? That was on number 15 and not number 32. 1st down and 10. The Hokies now will have the ball at the 38-yard line. Thomas. There's the flare to Oglesby, who is out of bounds at the 36-yard line.
With Oglesby in the game, you don't have quite the quickness that you get from David Wilson, but the senior has a lot more power. But at this point, down 31-10, they need quickness on the field against this Clemson defense.
2nd down and 9 for the Hokies, who have given up 21 unanswered here in the 3rd quarter. Still 3 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Here comes the blitz off the corner. Thomas puts it to the outside, and to the 31-yard line is Coles again, and this will bring up another 3rd down here for the Hokies. 3rd down on the night so far. They are 5 of 11, as is Clemson.
I think Clemson has a great deal of confidence in the speed of their defense and in the secondary matching up against the Virginia Tech wide receivers, which is allowing them to take more gambles and take those risks by playing that man-to-man coverage.
With the score and the field position, this might be 4-down territory if they don't pick it up here. Thomas is going to be stopped short, and again, that is not a clean handoff on the read option.
Well, he's reading Andre Branch, and when nobody on a zone read, you don't know if you're going to keep it or if you're going to give it. He's trying to make a decision, but by Branch playing it the way he did, it forced the quarterback to be indecisive and then eventually just pull the ball out and try to pick it up himself, and he came up short.
So they are going to go on 4th down. Joey Phillips checks in. Oglesby is the running back. They need 2. Dropped. Had a 1st down, and it was dropped by Drager, the tight end, and it goes over to the Tigers.
They had what they wanted. The tight end matched up man-to-man against the linebacker. It's a catch that Drager can make in his sleep, and Kevin Steele pretty fired up over there on the other sideline for the Clemson defense.
Let me correct myself. That was Hopkins who made the stop for the Hokies. And again, banging straight ahead. So 30 years. The Clemson Tigers hope to make it back to the Orange Bowl.
Amazing. 1991. For such a great fan base, been some tough years.
Hopkins into Virginia Tech territory at the 47-yard line.
Tajh Boyd continues to look into that defense, sees the soft coverage, takes it every single time.
So when they won that last title in '91, they did not go to the Orange Bowl. It has been 30 years since they have been to Miami. First down and 10 with the ball on the Hokies 47. And Tajh Boyd to the 40-yard line. Tyler with the stop. This has been a very punishing Clemson performance here tonight on both sides of the ball. And they are 1 quarter away from a bid to the Discover Orange Bowl in a probable game against West Virginia. That'll have to be sorted out according to the BCS rankings tomorrow. This is a tremendous city to host this football game, and they've extended the contract, the ACC and the city of Charlotte. Herbie, you said it during that break. This is a perfect place for the ACC.
Absolutely.
And now dancing is Watkins again with that great speed, and he's into the red zone.
Big part of this offense is the jet sweep. You see it a lot at Auburn. You saw it last year at Auburn with Ontario McCaleb. Watkins has the same kind of speed to be able to get to the corner in a hurry. They've been working all night to get to the edge, and they've had a lot more success in the second half, which opens up again a lot of different aspects in this Tigers attack.
So now Tajh Boyd dances away, throws on the move to Hopkins. Hopkins at the 5, and he is down right there. You talk about Sammy Watkins, who set this up. He missed the North Carolina State game with an injured shoulder and came back, the coaches said, at about 93%. And when he was a youngster in Fort Myers, he admired C.J. Spiller. He was also very concerned about the mean streets where he grew up. Family did a great job with him, and he is so happy to be in Clemson. And now we've got a 1st and goal, and they'll try to run it in, and nothing doing. It'll be 2nd down and goal, and Exum. And so speaking of Charlotte and how easy it is for these two fan bases to get here, a new ACC championship record tonight, 73,675. This game could stay here for a long, long time. Like the SEC in Atlanta, this could be like that for the ACC. Now Tajh, option look, keeps it, barges toward the end zone, and they say he is just short of it. Line judge came down.
Just love,
said he is just short of it.
Love the way, Brent, he is attacking when he's running the football. I mean, I cannot tell you how long it's been in watching Clemson play this last month. We just have not seen this kind of aggressiveness from Tajh Boyd. I think the coaches were right. They wanted to see him get off to a fast start to reestablish his confidence and get the momentum going in their favor, and I think it's affected him tonight.
It's going to be 3rd down and goal, and Herbie, you are exactly right that this game depended to a large degree upon the performance of Tajh Boyd for Clemson, and he has come up big.
He sure has. He's back in command, making great decisions, and really just asserting himself tonight.
Ellington is behind Deal, and Tajh tries to pick it up himself, and there's the touchdown signal. So 4 second-half possessions for Dabo Swinney and 4 Clemson touchdowns.
With the way Clemson has looked in the last month, this was almost like an explosion in this second half. I mean, it was at 10-10 at halftime. Still both teams kind of feeling each other out. There's Chad Morris, who's fired up for him. But this second half, it's like Clemson's been waiting for this for the last few weeks, and they're just taking it out right now on Virginia Tech.
Catanzaro on for the extra point. And it is hard to believe, but at the intermission, we were tied at 10. So that is 4 unanswered touchdowns. Clemson closing in on the Discover Orange Bowl. The Tigers will kick it away. And Gregory is back deep. Gregory. And there's a penalty flag flying again. The last 3 kickoff returns have all featured flags. With Kirk Herbstreit and Heather Cox, I'm Brent Musburger. The Dr. Pepper ACC Championship, Charlotte, North Carolina, 38-10. Clemson dominating. First down and 10. And to the 30-yard line is Marcus Davis, who's been relatively quiet here tonight. But that'll move the chains for the Hokies.
He has been quiet, and you know, in a night where they've needed Marcus Davis to be able to get separation, here he comes again.
Over to the corner, came right back with him.
You know, Brent, he's 6'4", about 225 pounds, runs a 4.5, and has a 42-inch vertical. To me, throw it up and give the guy a chance.
There's 3 catches, Herbie, for 40 yards, and 2 of them right here in succession. Second down, and big Logan Thomas firing again, and this time to Traeger, the tight end. So a few of the Hokie faithful have headed for the exit. But those folks wearing orange, they want to see that trophy in their possession, and they want to call their travel agent and head to Miami. Thomas up too high, incomplete, and that was Boykin. Young man who grew up right here in Charlotte. One of the record-setting performers of the Hokies. And you look at this Virginia Tech team, the only squad they couldn't handle this year in the ACC. You're looking at them right here. Clemson stormed into Blacksburg, beat them on October 1st, and they're looking for the sweep tonight in a neutral setting. Logan will not get the first down.
Brent, I want to congratulate you on behalf of the whole crew for being a big recipient of the prestigious Outstanding Contribution to Amateur Football Award that's going to be given to the National Football Foundation dinner on Tuesday night at the Waldorf. Congratulations to that.
Thank you.
We'll be there to represent you and honor you. Well deserved.
It's because of partners like you over the years that this has been such an enjoyable run. I want to tell you, it's a pleasure coming to work with you and working with people like our producer Bill Bonnell, Derek Mobley, our director down there, Zippy on the keyboard for us, and TD, and everybody else who travels with us, the cameramen. I mean, look at the pictures we've had tonight. It's been an all-star performance by this crew.
Well, it's been a great year, and that's a great honor for you, and I know you're looking forward to it, and we're looking forward to coming in and.
Will you have a cocktail with me, Sal?
Yes, sir.
4th down and 7 now, and Logan Thomas throws for the side, and the first down to Marcus Davis. And Herbert, you said it, throw the ball to Davis.
Yeah, I'm surprised when Clemson started to just again come after Logan Thomas and play so much man-to-man coverage. Danny Cole and Jared Boykin are good receivers, obviously, but they don't have the quickness and the athletic ability to get the separation from this Clemson secondary, and I think Marcus Davis does. And now that the game's out of reach, they're giving him a shot.
And he has to throw this one at the feet of Wilson as Jarrett was coming after him. You know, Herbie, I love to talk about the NFL. We all know how many great players come out of the SEC and play Sunday football. And overlooked sometimes is the ACC. In the last 3 years now, the ACC has had 53 linebackers on NFL rosters. That's more folks than any conference in the country. Over the last 2 years, they've had more Pro Bowlers than any conference, with 47. So sometimes because of the great performance and the great players in the SEC, we overlook the talent base down here in the ACC. These fellas can play a little bit.
And honestly, I think we overlook the ACC because their struggles as teams.
I agree.
They've not had a lot of success. When they formed this conference, the Coastal and the Atlantic, I think they really thought Florida State and Miami and Virginia Tech would be the kind of the anchor schools. The Hokies clearly have held up their end of the bargain.
No question.
Miami and Florida State have not. So people don't think about the ACC, even though they have exceptional individual talent that obviously moves on to that next level.
I agree with everything you said. They have not had that super team here lately. And complete again to Boykin. And the Hokies are marching down the field with 5:48. And, of course, they trail it by 28 points. Now, you think about Logan Thomas, this quarterback, Herbie, only a sophomore. And remember, he really is still learning how to play quarterback. So there's a tremendous future for this young man, despite the fact this looks like a very disappointing evening for him. And that's incomplete.
It'd be interesting to hear. Heather had a good report about David Wilson, who's their go-to guy. But in the second half, when this offense was struggling, David Wilson wasn't on the field. Josh Oglesby was out there. You wonder after the game, when Frank Beamer has a chance to address the media, if he was dinged or if there was another reason that he wasn't out there.
Well, he's a junior. And tonight, 11 carries for 32 yards, the ACC Player of the Year. And this is him with the football right now. And he barges inside the 10-yard line. Herbie said at the top of the broadcast, if you weren't with us, that one of the things that you don't know about Wilson is how strong he is.
He is. He's very committed, like most of the Virginia Tech Hokies, to the weight room. And he has broken some records, some running back records. Think about some of the great backs that they've had and how strong and powerful those backs have been. And you look at him at a 205-pound running back, and yet he's in the weight room working overtime.
Picked off at the goal line. This could be a pick six, folks. There's nobody there. Breland, yes. Stopped, and that was Wilson who got back on him.
Absolutely.
He had the whole sideline open, and Wilson hustled back, and that's Wilson's best play of the night.
Unfortunately, but it does show the heart that he has. Logan Thomas got back there, but David Wilson, it's the only time we've had a chance to see him actually turn on the jets. But this Clemson defense has done everything that they've needed to do. They step in front of it this time and make the play. Breland has the speed. But, boy, this defense has made a lot of plays tonight. That's a second interception for Logan Thomas on the night.
Earlier this week, all 12 mascots for the ACC paid a visit to Presbyterian Hemby Children's Hospital, accompanied by Mike London, head coach of the University of Virginia, the ACC Coach of the Year. And, oh, my goodness, how much the children enjoyed having their picture taken over there with these mascots. It brought so much joy to those youngsters, and that was just a great day, and thanks to all the mascots who participated. Now, a little bit of bookkeeping here as Clemson barges in. Herbie, let's go back to the interception, because 64 yards, that's the longest interception return in ACC championship history.
And you'll love this, Brent. We said all night David Wilson's fast. Well, here's he showing his speed in the open field, but more importantly, how about the heart not to give up on that play? And if he doesn't do that, then that is a touchdown and a lot longer interception return for Clemson.
Well, there's the turnover margin that has plagued the Tigers in the last 4 games, and tonight a +3. And by the way, we welcome the audience from Clemson, South Carolina. We're so sorry about the power failure. You missed a great performance. And there's a direct snap to the running back. A little trickeration that time. DJ Howard, as Tajh Boyd was walking over to the sideline.
There's Chad Morris reaching into his high school playbook. Oh, Coach, what?
He used this in Texas.
That was great.
This was a Texas high school play, and it moved the chains.
That was like a demo of
They won a state championship with his play.
Back to back. Good for Tajh Boyd.
Now, Cale Stout comes in as the quarterback. Cliff Stout's son, the backup for cleanup as we go. So twice this year, Reese, those two teams have had great games, and Dabo Sweeney is headed for a bath as the Tigers close in on a trip to the Orange Bowl, and there it is, and it's orange Gatorade. Dabo will wear that with pride. 2:55 And these youngsters from Clemson deserve a lot of credit. They had to listen to the coaches for 2.5 hours. Folks, that's a long meeting if you're a football player.
Absolutely.
You ever attend a 2.5-hour meeting?
No. Never lost 3 or 4, though. I guess that's an accountability meeting.
3rd and 12, and the backup quarterback in there. Hands off to Roderick McDowell. So the mop-up crew is out there, and there's Blake DeChristopher with that great beard of his, tackled for the Hokies, and it has been a tough night.
They got to get Kevin Steele, don't they?
Absolutely.
I mean, he deserves to get drilled.
And he says, you know what, you rest us.
Oh yeah.
He looked up on that big monitor and said, I know you're creeping up on me. But they did a great job with the defense here tonight. And all the coaches, they deserve a whole lot of credit for this performance. And it appears as though they're going to be playing West Virginia. Now, you might remember the name Stout. This is Cole Stout. And his daddy, Cliff, played in the National Football League. And Herbie, the family lives in Dublin, Ohio.
Went to Dublin Kaufman High School, and another coach got it. His brother plays at Ole Miss as a backup quarterback.
Oh, he's a backup at Ole Miss.
Yeah.
And, of course, the champion here tonight, Clemson, would head down to the Discover Orange Bowl, where they're expected to be matched against West Virginia. And down on that far side is Boykin, working for Logan Thomas. And a very disappointing night for Virginia Tech, but they figured ahead to perhaps the Chick-fil-A Bowl down in Atlanta. I know that there was speculated that should they come up a loser in this game, that's where they might head. And I believe somebody told me that they would play an SEC team down there. And I may have read in one of the newspapers here in North Carolina this week that there was speculation about South Carolina. But we shall see. That'll all become official tomorrow night. 2nd down and 10. And Oglesby will finish up as the running back here for Frank Beamer.
SEC Championship was interesting with Georgia storming out this afternoon, and I think LSU, hearing all the talk about they could lose and still advance to the national title, definitely had an impact on their emotions. As much as they tried to downplay it, they're human beings. But I thought what we really wanted to see is 4 quarters of football, and LSU obviously took control of that game in the second half.
Logan Thomas firing incomplete. And of course, if it comes up, LSU and Alabama make it 6 straight BCS championships for the SEC. 2 of them by Florida, coached by Urban Meyer, who will head to Ohio State for next season. Les Miles won 1, of course, at LSU.
SEC 7-0 in BCS title games. So what happens when you have 2 teams in there? Do you go to 8-1? You're 8-1. You know what I'm saying? Oh man,
let's make them 8-1.
That's not right.
Of course. What a great line. Incomplete. I love that.
You get 2 teams in, and all of a sudden you got an L. It's not right. What a win for this Clemson team. Just amazing effort.
So here comes the handshake now. Dabo Swinney closes on a very high note. After the Tigers had lost 3 of 4. And there's the dean, Frank Beamer, who tells him good job and wishes him well down the road. And there's Watkins, the rookie of the year. And for Logan Thomas, there will be other games. And some of the fellows are now picking up the Orange Bowls, going into the stands with their fans. Let's go down to Heather Cox with Coach Swinney.
Thanks so much, Brent. Coach, congratulations. Your first ACC championship in 20 years. What kind of statement did your team make tonight?
Well, I'm awful proud of them. It's great to be a Tiger. You know, we've been wandering in the desert for 30 years at Clemson trying to get back to the Orange Bowl, the site of our greatest moment, and that's where we're going. But I'm awful proud. I've told the team all year that if you just put it together one time, offense, defense, special teams, it won't be close. And tonight it wasn't.
When you got your Gatorade bath, we think we saw some tears in your eyes. Can you describe the emotions when that happened?
Well, I got this job 3 years and 2 days ago, you know, and I put every bit of everything I have into it, you know, to try to do this for Clemson and these players who work hard and these coaches. And, you know, when you accomplish a goal, it's a great thing. But, you know, we're not done yet. We still got a long way to go to build this program into, you know, what we want it to be. But, you know, this is what it's all about. You don't quit. There's so many quitters out there. All these people that quit on us, man, they don't deserve this. This is for the players and the coaches and for all those people who are all in all the freaking time. And I'm proud of those people. That's what this one's for, all right? Because this team right here is young, and they've had some adversity. But, you know, they just keep believing. They listen to the right things. They love each other. We had a lot of accountability tonight. And I kept telling them, just as quick as it turned one way, it turned back. Tonight it did. We got the turnovers. We took care of the ball. We won the game. That's been our formula all year. And it's a great football team in Virginia Tech. I think this ties the record for the highest-ranked team we've ever beaten. So credit goes to the players. They got it done. You know, we just kind of steer the ship. These players deserve all the credit. And Almighty God, my Lord and Savior.
And, Coach, the reward is you get to go to the first BCS Bowl game in Clemson history. What does it mean to you to be the one taking your team there?
Well, yeah, I'm just an old guy from Pelham, Alabama. You know, I'm just blessed to be here. That's the bottom line. I'm just the guy that, you know, was put in this position, and I'm just thankful that I have coaches and players and an administration that supports me and believes. And you know, every meeting I've had since the day I got this job, I take a sign in there, I carry it with me, and it says, "Believe you can do it." And tonight they believed, and they believed for 3 years. And we're going back to the Orange Bowl for the first time in 30 years. This is our 30-year anniversary of our '81 National Championship team. That team set the standard at Clemson. And tonight, we're not quite where they were, but we're going to go back and get a little taste of it. And I just couldn't be more proud of a group of guys.
Coach, enjoy it. Keep believing, Coach.
Great job down there. And probably what a magical moment this is for Clemson, the players, the coach.
Great. It really is. It's fun to sit here and have a chance to look down on this celebration. Clemson's been through so much this year. Dabo Swinney, outstanding young head coach. And he's right. There's some people that really question this team, their heart, their character. He questioned it on Monday in that meeting, and they really answered the bell. This is an impressive performance to not just win the ACC Championship and head to the Orange Bowl, but emphatically 38-10. You don't see Frank Beamer's teams beaten very often like this.
So this has been a presentation ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports, along with Kirk Herbstreit, Heather Cox, and our entire crew. I'm Brent Musburger. Congratulations to our ACC champions, Clemson. And thanks for watching. Here's SportsCenter.